We have Congressman Campbell with us from California. When we went to the break, I mentioned that we were going to be talking about a couple of your initiatives. One is to make English a national language, an official language. Any progress on that, sir?
You would think there would be. I mean, that issue is kind of a duh.
Yeah.
It's a 90% issue.
I mean, everybody Republicans, Democrats, Independents, everybody believes that, understands that, but you can't seem to move that in this town. And this is where, frankly, so often the Democrats are out of touch with their own constituents, and they don't want to see this come up for a vote, because if it comes up for a vote, they're going to vote against what their own constituents really want. And they'll always, in a campaign, they'll say one thing, and then they'll come here and they don't want to vote on it because they have to vote to make English the language, because that's probably what they promised people they would do. But then what happens is they hold it back so that you don't actually have a vote, which the leadership does, because the leadership of the majority can bring things to the floor for a vote, or just unilaterally decide, nope, we're not going to vote on it.
That is something that I learned today that really just shocked me. Just that part of it. If you just think about all the work that's being done here, that then gets to that point, and may never even be discussed.
Nancy Pelosi says, I'm not interested, then it ain't happening.
She makes the decision. That's the power of being the speaker, determining what the agenda is. So if the American people are unhappy, and right now, some polls say as many as 81% of the American public believe that we're on the wrong track. The leader makes the decision about what the agenda is, and I think the American people have a right to be upset. John Campbell's legislation to have English be the official language is an important issue for a lot of Americans. The speaker refuses to allow us to even vote on that very important issue.
And that's why you'll see many Democrats run and they'll say, oh no, I'm for English as the official language, particularly in red states or purple states like Minnesota, and they'll say that kind of thing, but then when they get here, they'll vote for Nancy Pelosi as speaker. Well, that's the key vote. The minute they vote for Nancy Pelosi as speaker, they're voting to kill English as the official language.
So they can say anything they want, kind of being couched in.
As the old saying goes, Katie, actions speak louder than words. And when your action is to vote for Speaker Pelosi, you're killing important bills like Congressman Campbell's bill on English as the official language.
Congressman John Campbell, our guest for just another minute or so. I wanted to touch on sanctuary cities too. That's another one of your initiatives. In a nutshell, what are we talking about?
A sanctuary city is a city out there, and I'm not sure.
Minneapolis,
Minneapolis,
St. Paul, Duluth. There's several cities.
Okay, and it's a city out there where the police are prohibited from sharing or asking information about someone's immigration status with the federal immigration authorities. Now, when we want to get rid of sanctuary cities, what we're saying is we're not going to require that the police check everyone's immigration status or anyone's immigration status, but you shouldn't prohibit them from doing that if they have reason to believe the person is in this country illegally. And there's cases all over the country, a recent one in Los Angeles, where someone was murdered by an illegal immigrant who the police had, in Los Angeles, which is a sanctuary city, had picked up several times before, but couldn't detain on the charges they picked them up for. Could have detained them if they had had the right to ask to figure out whether they were illegally here. They could have detained them. This person who was a high school football star, great career ahead of him, would be alive today had they done that. So this is a big issue. We had a vote on it yesterday on the floor, and we had an amendment.
How'd it go?
It failed by a tie vote.